about this, family. About 40, maybe 50, almost 60% of America is overweight. Obesity and diabetes and all these things affect the melanated community more than it does the Caucasian, right? And most people's identity in the melanated community, black people, right, is tied to fried chicken, right? Fried chicken, greasy food. And most of Americans' identity is tied to just eating a whole bunch of meat. Pigs, cows, chickens, and the likes. And this is what people's identity is tied to. And now they're trying to tie people's identity to different genders. You gotta mind yourself. We gotta mind ourselves, or we will be mined by somebody else. There's a lot of people's identity, a lot of people, their ideals and identity is tied to the beliefs of others, religious institutions, etc. You know, if you believe in more than one wife, you're somehow wrong. Some people only see themselves as employee. They can never see themselves as a business doing business with other businesses. Their mindset is always of a slave, never of a master. Because they are slaves to themselves, slaves to their urges, slaves to their thoughts, slaves to feelings, to sensations, etc. and so forth. We got to create a new identity for ourselves. Just like businesses rebrand themselves, we must learn to rebrand ourselves, to be more creative with what we allow ourselves to think about ourselves, how we allow ourselves to view ourselves. Things have got to change. Change is the only constant, so we must be constantly growing, evolving, involving ourselves in things that allow our consciousness, our awareness to expand into one that is more beneficial towards the development of our souls. We might have to reposition ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was over there, I couldn't see the sunset as much, came over here, boom, you know what I'm saying? If I was able to get up there, I'll probably get more. Had a headache since like 3 something, started getting a really bad headache. Went home, took a hour nap, woke up, still had the headache. So that the sun hadn't set, so I was like, you know what? Let me go watch the sunset. Maybe the headache will diminish in intensity, and hopefully I can get a session this evening. Might be able to get a session this evening. It's not. Usually I'll train if it's below like a 7 in intensity. But if it's above a 7 in intensity, I'm like, nah, we're not playing that, man. So here we are, light headache in the background, but we can't identify with those weaknesses, man. We gotta identify with something that's more in the area of the individual that I want to be. We made it. Here. This is one of the things my identity is tied to. My physical fitness, my performance. If I'm not training, and the times that I've gone months, weeks or months without training, I've always felt like I was just slowly withering away, just dying. Yes, there have been times where I've gone weeks and months without training. When I used to be in my head, when I used to get stuck in my thoughts and in my feelings. But thankfully, for the past 186 days, we've been conquering our feelings most of the time. Maybe not to start the day, but still fucking slothful bastard. So, something to work on. Slothfulness, diligence, limiting beliefs, about money. You know what I'm saying? I just heard somebody recently talk about how sloth, the vice of sloth, is tied to poverty. And it makes sense, because in Proverbs it says, sleep, he who loves sleep and the folding of hands, poverty will sneak upon them like a thief in the night type shit. I don't know if it's exactly what it says, or if I'm conflating multiple Bible verses, but something like that. Sleeping or the folding of hands will sneak. Yep, that's exactly what it is. And so another one is like where comfort is where dreams go to die. And what's more comfortable or related to comfort than the vice of sloth? So yeah, it's one of the vices I've been dealing with. Not having been relying on my own willpower to get things done over the last 7 or 8 years. When I was fighting, when I was going to college, I kind of had reasons to get up early in the morning. When I have to train people at 6, 7 in the morning, you know, I had reasons to get up early because I got to go do something for somebody else. But I struggle, man, to get up, to stay up once I get up. So that's one of the things we've been working on this past year, mainly been focusing on it heavy, to eradicate out of our identity. Or even if we don't get up early how we want to stop taking it so personal when we don't. Because it's not like we don't get things done, because we do get things done. Maybe just not the level that, maybe just not to the level of our ideal self, right? Because we have an idealistic view of ourselves, of how we think others should behave, or how we think the world should be. And then we have reality, right? So me personally, I have some pretty high ideals for myself. Do I always meet them? No. Over these past 186 days though, we've been meeting more of the ideals than we haven't. You know what I'm saying? I just shipped Moshe, a bunch of Moshe, to Dominican Republic. So we can kind of say that our business is going international. You know what I'm saying? I have a few people in Australia and places in Europe that have followed me for a minute and have requested it. We just got to figure out how to get it to those places as well. But hey, tell you what, I'm grateful to as the Muslims, or as it is stated in the Quran in Islam, I'm thankful for the bringer of mercy, the source of mercy in my life, for the grace that it allows me to have and the peace of mind that it allows me to maintain by being grateful for the moment and for allowing me to feel the mercy, to have compassion for myself when I do fall short, to have the compassion and the grace that allows me to be patient with myself as I move out of these old limiting beliefs and limiting ideas of myself that I've brought up on myself over the course of my life. So hope you're able to do that for yourself as well, family. Here warming this headache out. So she wrote, family. That's all I'm gonna do, man. This headache is still there. 30 minutes of cardio. I've been sweating my dick off for the past 30 minutes. I just did something I never do on the treadmill. I walked. Did some shadow boxing on it. Wish I could show y'all something, but my phone is dying. So I don't want to risk it. Life is what we make it, family. Change is the only constant. If we want change in our life, we must change. We can't expect things to change if we ain't changing ourselves. Change demands change. So make sure you're applying the habits and daily rituals that are in alignment with the individual that has the kind of life and lifestyle that you desire in your life. And give it time. Great things take time. Measurable improvement or improvement over time. Yo, I don't fucking know. I don't know right now. I'm out of it. I'll see y'all later.